first of all, let's start with the facts. We are speaking about two well-known humanitarian activists that were seized in international water near Greece, basically. At that time, on April the 30th, many activists were seized along with the two, more than 170 activists, and those two were isolated from the others and brought into Israel. This seizure is basically an abduction. We are speaking about two foreign civilians. The Israeli law doesn't apply on them. They were in international water. They were heading to Greece, and it's an important fact. They were heading to Greece, not to Gaza, as argued by the Israeli authorities. And still, they were detained, brought to Israel, investigated, and extended for more than 1 week under the Israeli authority. On Saturday, May the 9th, we had a call from the security agency of Israel informing us that they will be released from their authority, and they will be transferred to the deportation authorities to be deported. And as we know, today, May the 10th, they were really deported from Israel. The violations of law are in many aspects of the whole detention and seizure and abduction. First of all, the law that should apply on those two activists is not the Israeli law. They were in a boat flagged by the Italian flag. Therefore, the authority should be for Italy. And if Israel want to detain those two activists under the Convention of the Sea, they should request the authorization of Italy. And that didn't happen. And if we go back in time, at the first day that they were abducted in international water, Italy actually condemned this abduction. So this is the first violation. And of course, according to the domestic law, even the Israeli domestic law, we are speaking about 5 very serious suspicions that speaks about terror organization, affiliation with terror organization, connection with foreign agent, etc. And the purpose is criminalize a humanitarian mission that aims to break the illegal siege on Gaza and to enter a humanitarian aid. So this is another violation of the international law, where Israel shouldn't prohibit entering a humanitarian aid, but they should even allow the humanitarian mission. They were on a boat sailing to Israel for more than 2 days, blindfolded the whole time. They were even handcuffed behind their back. They were obligated to sit in a stress position, which is an act of torture under the Convention Against Torture. And the series of violations, humanitarian violations and act of violence didn't stop there. Even when they were transferred under the authority of Israel Prison Services, this saga, this series of violation continued. Also, they were isolated, held in small cells, very cold cells, as they testified, high intensity light 24 hours a day, long hours of interrogations. They were also obligated to remain blindfolded as long as they are not in their cells or during the interrogation. That means that even when they were subjected to medical care in the Israeli prison services, they were obligated to remain blindfolded, which is a clear and severe violation of the minimal medical ethics. So this case is a microcosmos basically for a broader violations that always Israel uses security to justify systematic human rights violation. Let's say many violations, international humanitarian law violations that happening across Palestine, whether if it's the building more and more settlements in the West Bank, the continuing genocide in Gaza, the famine in Gaza, etc. And all of those violations are always justified by Israel for security reasons. And no violation of law, as a lawyer I'm speaking, no violation of law and no violation of international law and domestic law should be justified by any reason. In my opinion, the wide range of violations in this case had the international community to look at it in a critical point of view. Let's talk about 5 very serious suspicions of 2 well-known activists about a mission that is also well-known and known for the humanitarian purpose that it acts to apply. All of those elements, in my opinion, led the international community to mobilize for this cause. And the case, with all the aspects of it, reflects that Israel has no limits, there are no red lines, and they can do whatever they want in terms of human rights violations with full impunity of the vast majority of the governments, but the international community, the civilians of the communities, they say otherwise. The fact that after 7 days of long hours of interrogations on suspicions, 5 suspicions, a series of violence, psychological violence, and even torture, still the activists were released without any charges, emphasize our argument from day one, which is, in addition to no authority, the reason is to inflate the case and to add criminal aspects to a humanitarian mission. I believe that the international community realizes at the moment that it can happen to any civilian in any other country. So I believe that the critique is much more severe, and there are higher critiques against Israel. Add to all that the escalation of the violence, the escalation of the genocide, and the escalation of human rights violations in the West Bank, in prisons against the Palestinian prisoners in the Israeli prisons. All of that emphasizes that Israel has a green light to continue those violations. And this is time to stop giving full impunity to Israel. The message of this whole case, from abduction in international water to detention to long hours of interrogations and finally deporting them, is, in my opinion, is a message from Israel that any mission that aims to show solidarity with the Palestinian community will be or is not welcome, is prohibited as an act to continue the isolation of the Palestinian community from the white community, and to isolate any humanitarian solidarity mission with Palestinians.